Arman Tsarukyan recently shared his thoughts on two of the UFC's most talked about fighters, Islam Makhachev and Khamzat Chimaev, offering an honest take that has stirred up conversation among MMA fans. According to Arman, even if Islam manages to capture the welterweight title at UFC 322, he still doesn't see him defeating Khamzat in a potential superfight. Islam Makhachev, currently the lightweight champion, is scheduled to face the new welterweight king Jack Della Maddalena on November 15. The Dagestani star's move up to 170 pounds has sparked discussions about his place among the all-time greats. A victory over JDM could solidify his status as the top pound-for-pound fighter in the world. However, Arman remains skeptical of Islam's chances against Khamzat Chimaev, who currently holds the middleweight belt and is widely regarded as one of the most dominant physical forces in the UFC. When asked about a potential Islam vs Khamzat showdown, Arman made it clear he's picking Khamzat all day. He explained that the two fighters have completely different physical dimensions and fighting styles. According to him, grappling with Khamzat is unlike anything most welterweights experience. He's incredibly strong, relentless, and suffocating. He clamps onto you like a tick, Arman said, emphasizing the unmatched pressure Khamzat brings in close exchanges. In contrast, Arman noted that Islam is still a lightweight by nature, by build, by weight, and by overall frame. Even if he successfully moves up to welterweight, Arman believes the added mass could slow Islam down and negatively impact his endurance. He pointed out that adding too many kilos could backfire, as Islam's style depends heavily on movement, timing, and conditioning. While Makhachev's technique is elite, Arman thinks Khamzat's size and raw power would be too much for him to handle. Many fans agree with Arman's analysis, given Khamzat's dominance and Islam's long history in the 155-pound division, which is nearly 30 pounds lighter. While a matchup between the two might be a dream fight for the future, it's unlikely to happen anytime soon as both men remain focused on their current weight classes and championship defenses. Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan has his own goals in mind. He's set to face Dan Hooker on November 22, and a win could put him directly in line for a title shot against lightweight champion Ilia Topuria. In the same interview, Arman expressed full confidence in his ability to dethrone Ilia if given the opportunity. He said he wouldn't allow Topuria to control the distance or dictate the pace of the fight. Instead, Arman plans to rely on his signature strengths, constant pressure, relentless wrestling, and top control. He added that while Ilia spends much of his training focusing on striking and pad work, wrestlers from regions like Chechnya and Dagestan grow up mastering takedowns and ground dominance. Even an amateur from those areas could take him down and ground and pound him, Arman claimed. Confident and composed, Tsarukyan is ready to prove himself as the next big threat in the lightweight division, one who could soon be competing for UFC gold. Tom Aspinall, the UFC interim heavyweight champion, recently admitted that he was completely wrong about Alex Pereira ahead of UFC 320. Before the event, Aspinall confidently predicted that Magomed Ankalaev would once again defeat Pereira, believing that the Russian's technical approach and composure would neutralize the Brazilian's power. However, after witnessing Pereira deliver yet another dominant and destructive performance inside the octagon, Aspinall wasted no time in giving credit where it was due. "Bro, he just absolutely ran through him," Tom said candidly after the fight. "Look, I was wrong. I was wrong. That was very, very impressive." It's not often that a top-tier fighter like Aspinall openly admits when one of his predictions is off the mark, but Pereira's performance left no room for debate. His calmness under pressure, impeccable timing, and devastating precision reminded everyone why he's considered one of the most dangerous men in combat sports today. Aspinall went on to praise Pereira's remarkable composure, noting that his ability to stay patient while waiting for the perfect opening demonstrates the mindset of a true elite fighter. According to Tom, Pereira's striking is not just about raw power. It's about accuracy, timing, and confidence in his craft. His ability to deliver knockout blows with such precision makes him a nightmare for anyone in the light heavyweight division. Alex's display of skill and composure showed exactly why he's in a league of his own right now, Tom added. When asked about what might be next for the reigning light heavyweight champion, Aspinall said it largely depends on what Pereira and the UFC decide. He pointed out that Carlos Ulberg, who recently secured an impressive victory, could be an interesting matchup for Pereira. Ulberg has been climbing the ranks rapidly, showcasing explosive striking and noticeable growth in every outing. A potential Pereira vs. Ulberg fight would likely deliver fireworks, given both fighters' knockout power and aggressive styles. However, what truly captured fans' imaginations was the possibility of Pereira moving up to heavyweight. Tom acknowledged that such a move would be monumental for the sport, especially with him currently sitting at the top as the interim champion. "We'll have to see what the UFC wants to do next," he said. A move to heavyweight for Pereira would shake up the division in a massive way. The idea of Pereira testing himself against the biggest and strongest fighters in the UFC has fans buzzing with excitement. With his unique combination of power, accuracy, and unshakable confidence, Pereira stands out as one of the few fighters capable of successfully transitioning to a higher weight class. His warrior mentality and fearlessness have already carried him through 2 divisions, and a run at heavyweight could cement his legacy as one of the most versatile and dangerous fighters in MMA history. Whether Alex Pereira decides to remain at light heavyweight to continue his reign or takes the bold step up to heavyweight, one thing is certain. He continues to silence his critics and prove that he belongs among the sport's all-time greats. His relentless drive, unmatched striking ability, and composed demeanor inside the cage make him one of the most feared men in the UFC today. After it was confirmed that Islam Makhachev would be moving up to the welterweight division to challenge Jack Della Maddalena, JDM, for the title, the lightweight champion admitted that the process of putting on size had been more difficult than he initially expected. Makhachev, known for his precision and discipline, faced a new challenge in adapting his frame for the 170-pound division. However, recent training footage and photos have revealed a visibly stronger, more muscular, and more powerful version of Islam than ever before. His coach, Javier Mendez, spoke about Makhachev's transformation in a recent interview with Red Corner MMA, describing it as nothing short of remarkable. "I was thinking we were going to be quite a bit smaller than Jack," Mendez admitted, "but then I saw Islam. He's put on the weight really nicely. I think Islam right now is about a solid 191 pounds. So, we're not going to have any issue jumping up in weight." That statement is significant, especially coming from a coach known for maintaining strict conditioning standards within the American Kickboxing Academy, aka. For Makhachev, who has spent most of his career competing at 155 pounds, this transition marks one of the most important physical evolutions of his career. Mendez also gave insight into the team's strategy for the upcoming matchup, emphasizing that Makhachev is ready for any scenario inside the octagon. "If Islam has to stand with him because he can't take him down, then he'll stand with him," Mendez said confidently. "We'll take whatever opportunities we can. Either the ones he gives us or the ones we force him to create. We're not just looking to take Jack to the ground. We're looking to take advantage wherever we can." For Makhachev, this move to welterweight isn't only about adding another belt to his collection. It's about making history. Having already established himself as one of the most dominant lightweights in UFC history, Islam has openly talked about pursuing something unprecedented, becoming the first ever triple champion in the organization's history by potentially moving up to middleweight in the future. That ambition underscores not only his confidence but also his belief that his skill set and discipline can carry him across multiple divisions. Interestingly, before his current welterweight campaign, middleweight fighter Punahele Soriano shared a personal story that highlights just how physically imposing Makhachev already was, even as a lightweight. Speaking to MMA Junkie's Mike Bone, Soriano recalled a training session from years ago. "I hadn't been training for a while and Ali texted me asking if I wanted to work out. I said sure, and when I showed up, it was just me and Islam, and this was still 155-pound Islam. I was a middleweight, and he just beat the piss out of me for the whole session." Soriano added that Islam's strength and frame are deceptive, and he believes Makhachev will adapt seamlessly to welterweight. "He's huge for his size, and with his strength, cardio, and technique, I think he's going to fit in perfectly," Soriano said. Many fans and analysts share that sentiment, noting that Islam's wrestling foundation, top-tier fight IQ, and rapidly improving striking could present serious problems for Jack Della Maddalena. As UFC 322 draws closer, anticipation continues to build around this historic matchup. Fans are eager to see how the bulked-up version of Islam Makhachev performs when he steps into the octagon to challenge for a second world title. If he can carry his trademark dominance and composure into the welterweight division, Makhachev could move one step closer to achieving what no fighter has done before, becoming a three-division UFC champion. Alex Pereira may soon be adding another chapter to his already historic UFC journey, as rumors intensify about his potential move to the heavyweight division following his dominant victory at UFC 320. During the post-fight press conference, UFC President Dana White confirmed that Pereira has expressed serious interest in stepping up to face the giants of the sport. While this isn't the first time Pereira has hinted at such a move, it now appears that his long-standing ambition to test himself against the biggest fighters in the world might finally become a reality. During ESPN's post-fight coverage, analyst Carlos Ulberg mentioned that he had also heard strong rumors about Pereira's intentions to move up in weight. Those rumors were quickly validated when Dana White himself revealed that Pereira had personally told him about his desire to compete at heavyweight. Hours before his fight, Alex came to me and said he wants to move up, Dana shared. So today, I was at work, had a bunch of meetings, and went over to the Performance Institute. He was there, and I said, "You're the last guy the first expected to see here today. What are you doing here?" His team said, "We want to fight at heavyweight." White admitted that his first reaction was one of disbelief and amusement. I laughed and told him, "How about we win tonight first? Focus on that and then we can talk about heavyweight." Still, the UFC boss made it clear that while Pereira has unfinished business at light heavyweight, the idea of him moving up can't be ruled out. "We'll see what happens. There are still fights here in this division, but who knows?" Dana added. The possibility of Alex Pereira joining the heavyweight ranks has already sent shockwaves through the MMA community. Fans have flooded social media with excitement at the idea of Pereira testing his world-class striking and fearless mindset against much larger opponents. Known for his devastating knockout power, surgical precision, and unshakable composure, Pereira's transition to heavyweight could instantly create blockbuster matchups. Fights against names like Tom Aspinall, the current interim heavyweight champion, or even the legendary John Jones, could define the next era of the UFC. The prospect of Pereira taking on fighters 30 to 40 pounds heavier than him might sound ambitious, but history has shown that the Brazilian thrives under pressure. In just a few years, he has already captured titles in two divisions, middleweight and light heavyweight, becoming one of the fastest multi-division champions in UFC history. A successful move to heavyweight would make him one of the most accomplished and fearless fighters the sport has ever seen. Dana White also couldn't hide his admiration for Pereira's latest performance. People love him. They love the way he fights. "You can't be bummed out with how he performed tonight," White said, acknowledging the magnetic pull Pereira has on fans. Whether it's his signature stoic demeanor, his terrifying calm before delivering a knockout, or his aura of quiet confidence, Pereira continues to stand out as a true superstar of the fight game. If he does take the leap to heavyweight, the MMA world could be on the verge of witnessing something historic. Alex Pereira's combination of technical mastery, knockout artistry, and unwavering determination has already rewritten UFC history twice, and a move to heavyweight could be his boldest conquest yet. Whether it's dominating new divisions or creating unforgettable moments inside the octagon, one thing is certain. Alex Pereira continues to defy limits and redefine what greatness looks like in mixed martial arts. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. Dana White has officially confirmed that something massive is coming in January, a blockbuster UFC event that will mark the start of a brand new era under the organization's landmark deal with Paramount. During the UFC 320 post-fight press conference, the UFC president teased what's ahead and gave fans a glimpse into what could be one of the most significant moments in the promotion's history. According to Dana, the very first card under the Paramount partnership will be absolutely stacked, promising to deliver one of the most memorable nights the sport has ever seen. White emphasized that this upcoming event won't be just another fight night. It will be a statement to the world about the UFC's future under its new network home. "If you look at what we're heading into right now, we're about to go on a new network, Paramount, and we need to deliver a massive, incredible card in January," Dana said. He explained that the organization's focus is laser-sharp on making sure the debut event exceeds expectations and sets a high bar for the year ahead. The partnership between the UFC and Paramount has been one of the most talked-about developments in combat sports this year. With Paramount's global reach and production capabilities, the UFC is poised to expand its audience and push the boundaries of live entertainment even further. Dana White made it clear that this deal represents not just a business move, but the beginning of an exciting new chapter in the UFC's history, one that will elevate the sport's visibility, storytelling, and fan engagement. White revealed that the January card will serve as the perfect launchpad for what's to come, particularly the legendary White House event planned for February. This special card, which Dana described as the greatest fight card ever assembled in the history of the sport, is expected to feature some of the biggest names and most high-stakes matchups the UFC has ever seen. Once we get through the Paramount debut, Dana said, we'll start building the White House card, and I'll tell you right now, it will be the most insane card ever put together in UFC history. Such bold promises from Dana White are not to be taken lightly. Over the years, whenever he's hinted at monumental cards or historic moments, the UFC has delivered, from Conor McGregor's iconic nights to record-breaking title fights and unforgettable debuts. This time, with Paramount's backing and a fresh calendar year ahead, expectations are sky-high. The timing for this transition couldn't be better. The UFC roster is stacked with compelling storylines and dominant champions. Alex Pereira has teased a move to heavyweight after conquering 2 divisions. Ilia Topuria continues his reign of dominance at featherweight, while fighters like Khamzat Chimaev, Dricus du Plessis, and Tom Aspinall are all chasing legacy-defining opportunities. Each of these names could easily find a place on one of the 2 upcoming cards, further fueling speculation about potential dream matchups. Fans have already begun to speculate about who might headline the January event. Could it be a title unification bout? A long-awaited comeback from a fan favorite? Or perhaps a super fight between 2 champions from different divisions? Whatever the case, Dana White's enthusiasm left little doubt that the UFC is preparing to open 2025 with fireworks. As the new year approaches, excitement continues to build. The January card under the Paramount banner is shaping up to be an